Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is transfer window time here at Villa Park, our first transfer window, and I feel like it's going to be a short one because we know exactly what we want to do. We want to improve the creativity of the squad. I feel like defensively we are pretty good. Since we've been here, we haven't done too bad in that respect. We just get up the schedule and show you the back end of the season. So 2-1, 5-1, 1-1, 2-2, 1-1, 1-0, 2-0. We've got 3-0 there. We've had results where we've kept clean sheets. Obviously 3-2 defeat there to Spurs, a slight anomaly, but we're a decent defensive side. We just need a little bit more creativity. We need a little bit more firepower in front of goal. As you would have saw, Federico Perella came in and got 8 goals, and then in terms of assists, Ivan James was top assist maker with 8. So that's where we need to improve. And I think that's what we're going to do. We'll probably look at some wingers. If we look at the ages of some of the players as well. So Berat is 32. Tanganga is 32 as well at right back. Emil Smith-Rowe is 30. Ivan James is 30. Tafner is 30. Vucikovic is 29. That's more suitable as a centre-back. But we need a little bit more youth. We need a little bit more creativity. And that's where we're going to look at this season. So there's going to be some outgoings. There's going to be some incomings. And we're going to get right into it now, and hopefully we can have a really, really good transfer window. But I don't think it's going to be a big one, and I don't think it's going to be a long one. The budgets are in 2.3 million in the wage budget and 24.98 million in the transfer budget. That means, as I hit the wrong screen, that means we don't have anything in the wages. We have a little bit of transfer budget. We'll probably move some scouting budget across to make some money available. But I think just looking at the wages that we're paying, the most we're playing at is to Baptiste Dubois, who we brought in the January transfer window. Emil Smith-Rowe's there on 105. So is Conceição 105 as well. So there may Ivan James is on 97. So there may be some of them go out as well. But let's see what the scouts have given us right now. So Julian Aud is a 28-year-old fullback. Alejandro Nogues is a goalkeeper, 26-year-old goalkeeper. Dusan Adamovic is a 24-year-old defender. Carlos Grisales is a winger. And then Bradley Washoe is the other one, who's another winger from Dundee. That's who they've given us so far. We'll have to get our scouts really looking hard to find us some suitable candidates to bring in. So the first little bit of business has been done. Carlos Grisales has come in from Everton. We've paid £8.5 million for him. He's a 23-year-old winger. Hasn't had much luck at Everton. Not played much over the last 3 seasons. 27 times he's played. Couple of goals, couple of assists. His average rating's not been great, but not been that bad. 7.24 in his first season in the Championship. 6.8, 6.82. But not playing often enough to really, consistently get the game time. His best season here for the Paris Saint-Germain second team, getting 6 goals, 7 assists, 7.95 average rating. That was back a few years ago now. Hoping that he can produce the goods. In terms of his profile, he's a very quick winger by the look of it. Good stamina, pace is 14, good acceleration to get away from his man. Strength is okay for a 5'7". If you go and have a look here, his crossing 13, his dribbling 15, his finishing mediocre at 10, first touch 13, technique 15. And at 23, considering the 2 left wingers that are better than Ivan James and Emil Smith-Rowe, both in their 30s, it's a move for the future. And like I say, he's got 16 caps for Colombia as well. I think he could be a very good size. Not much room to, well, I don't think there's any room for him to improve, if I'm completely honest. But he is what we want. And then the other transfer that we have brought in is, as we go down to try and find the guy, he's not come in just yet, is he? We've signed Mikey Ford, who is a striker from Sligo Rovers. We've paid £62,000 for him. He's 18 years of age. He'll probably slot into the youth side. More than likely will go out on loan though. Also, we've had one player go out, and that was Luis Uribe. He went to Crystal Palace for 8.5 million. So the money that we brought in for Luis Uribe, we've spent back out on Carlos Grizales, I'm going to have to get used to saying that name, spend that back out. So net spend zero. Well, net spend £62,000 at the minute. Not bad. I think it's a definite improvement on what we've got. A move for a younger player as well, and hopefully we can continue to do some good business. So it's the 1st of July and we've missed out on a number of our first choice targets, which is very, very disappointing. One went to Juventus and one went to Brighton. So not what we needed. We're going to keep looking, we're going to keep trying to find the players that we want. But so far, this transfer window isn't going to plan. So a little bit of a mass exodus going to be happening here. Beret has gone to Besiktas for £12.25 million. And if we look as well, going out, we should see Luke Holland is going out possibly for over £1 million. Matthias Tavernier has had a £30 million offer coming from West Ham. Ivan Jaime has got a £30 million offer from Everton, and Eddie Caicedo has got a £15 million offer from Galatasaray coming. We had £20 million offers coming, but he didn't want to go to any of those. But we got a £15 million offer for Galatasaray, so that got a bit of a mouthful then. So this could be a lot of money coming in, and if there's that much money going to be coming into the club, a potential £81 million, we can really, really bolster this squad, because we've got 31 million in the transfer budget now. We've got 319,000 in the wage budget. It's just trying to get some of these players over the line, because at the moment we're finding it very difficult to get these boys over the line and into the squad. We have signed Jamie Brown for an initial fee of £15 million, rising quite a lot. There's a lot of add-ons. It was very difficult to get this one over the line. He comes in from Brentford. In terms of stats, mentally looks very, very good. Good stamina, all yellows on the physicals there. 15 acceleration, 15 jumping reach, 14 strength. If we move him to a ball playing defender on defend, heading's pretty good. 13 markings, 15 tackling, 16 techniques, 13 strength, 14 stamina, 16 pace, 14 jumping reach is 15. Like I just said, aggression 16, bravery 17. Positioning 14. He looks like he'll be a very good player. Star rating wise comes in as our second best centre back, just behind one Carlos Suarez. So I think this is a good sign. I knew we said we weren't going to sign much in the way of centre backs, but he became available. It was a bit of a chase, a bit more of a chase than I'd have liked. But Jamie Brown comes into the club as a centre back. So we have bit the bullet and we are in for Genoa's Andrea Cambiasso. Is a 31-year-old, something that goes against what we've been trying to do in this transfer window. He can play left back and right back, which is part of the reason that we've brought him in. 31 years of age, of course. We're lacking severely in that fullback position, so that's what we've done that for. Brought him in, can play, like I say, both left back and right back. In terms of left back, we've got Dubois. Right back, we've got Tanganga, and then after that, Ale, who is a centre back, can play at left back. Those are and Stephen Watkins, they're really the only decent players that we've got that can play in that position. We haven't got a backup right back as things stand, so that is why we've brought him in. Backup right back, backup left back. He's 31, so he is a touch on the older side, but he does bring in a wealth of experience, and that is one thing that we don't want to miss out on. Bringing in some of the younger players, we don't want to miss out on any experienced players that are going to bolster the dynamics of the squad. So we have signed Hudson Henrique. He is a 21-year-old Brazilian. He has 14 strength, 14 stamina, 19 balance, 16 agility, 14 acceleration, 16 vision and work rate, 17 determination and flair, 16 anticipation, 12 dribbling, 15 first touch, 13 long shots. If we put him on a central midfield on attack role, first touch 15, long shots 13, passing 14, technique 17. His tackling is a little bit low, 6. Well, quite low actually. Teamwork 12, vision and work rate are both 16. Looks like a very, very good player. We brought him in from Santos for £10.75 million. Went from Mineiro to Santos for £750,000. 2 full seasons, 37 games and 36 games. He got 7 assists in both of those seasons, 10 goals. In his current season, 3 goals, 4 assists, averaging a 7.27, 6 goals and 7 assists in all competitions. So he looks like he could be a creative force in this side. It's the only player we've brought in. We got Andrea Cambiasso over the line as well for what was a fee rising to 16.75 million. It was actually less than that up front. That will be the amount. I mean, I don't think we paid that much for him up front. I can't remember now, but we didn't pay that much for him up front. 16.75 million, sorry, for him. We've also got a few players looking to go out. Peter Wadsworth is probably going to go out on loan again. Malik Thor is going to go out as well. We've had offers of 10 and 9 million pounds from Zenit and Benfica. Mick Whittam is also going out on loan, and we were trying to get Stephen Watkins to go out on loan, but he's rejected the contracts there. As for players coming in, Frank Olsen, as you've probably seen a couple of times, he is a youngster. We brought him in January. He joins on the 2nd of January in this season. Ewan McMillan is a defender, can play right back or centre back, defensive midfield or central midfield from Hibs. He's currently rated 2.5 star, potential to be 4 star. Some decent looking numbers. He'll probably come in as a backup and a very versatile player at that. He is going to be £12.75 million. We've played the minimum release fee on him. And Lee Donnelly from Rangers for £1 million, rising to £3.4 million. He is a defender / central midfielder. Looks like he might have some decent potential on him. He'll more than likely go straight into the youth team. So we're very happy with those signings. And we've got a couple of weeks left till the start of the season. We start away at Cardiff on the telly on the 16th of April, so a couple more friendlies to get through, and then Cardiff, Palace and Brighton. 3 games in the league that we really have a chance of getting off to a very good start this season, and that is the plan, to not have us in any trouble like we were last season. So we are 2 weeks out from the start of the season, and we have managed to bring in a couple of players. Lee Donnelly did come in for £3.4 million from Rangers. Ewan McMillan from Hibs for 12.75. He is going to potentially be a starter, can play right back, centre back, or in the defensive midfield area. Some decent numbers there if we just look at him as a wing back, inverted wing back on support. Dribbling's 10, first touch is 10, marking 13, passing 11, tackling 15, technique 13, his stamina's 14, acceleration 16. Should be quite a pacey fullback for us, especially cutting in from that right hand side. Jesper Kyle, we paid £1.9 million for from Copenhagen. 2-star, potential 3-star, fits in that defensive midfield role. He's gone back out on loan to Copenhagen. We couldn't get a work permit on him, but I feel like he's probably going to be worth more than that in a season or two, especially if he gets some Premier League game time, if we can get the work permit sorted. After that, we spent a lot of money on Anthony Russell, who is a 2-star winger, 5-star potential. Physicals look pretty good for his age, 20, so he's got a year or two left to improve on these. His pace is 14, stamina's 13, acceleration is 15, off the ball 13, work rate is 12. Just looking as an inside forward on support. First touch is 16, his finishing's pretty poor, dribbling is could do with a couple of points higher, crossing 13, passing's 14, techniques 11. Hopefully, I mean, he's probably got 2 or 3 years left to really, try and fill out some of this potential. He'll be going out on loan in this first season. And lastly is Tulio from Southampton. We paid £47 million for him, not all up front, some of it was on the back end, but in terms of his stats, agility, jumping reach, stamina, strength, physicals, all pretty good. 6'2" defensive midfielder. His teamwork is 17. His work rate is 14. Anticipation there, that defensive midfield role is 17. Marking, passing, tackling, technique, all pretty good there as well. Okay dribbling as well for the defensive midfield role. He'll come in and he's our best defensive midfielder at the club. Him, Ewan McMillan, who also can play there, and Mario Vuskovic are 3 defensive midfielders for this coming season. In terms of the players that have gone out since, Malik Thor finally went out for £10 million. Antonio Vieira, who at one point we thought he might be in the 23-man squad for this season, he has gone out on loan to Derby now. And then there's a couple of players that look like they might be heading out. Lee Donnelly obviously will be going out on loan. Francisco Conciao has had offers in for him for £30 million from Benfica and Dynamo Kiev. Anthony Russell's got some loan offers. Mikey Ford was meant to be going to Shelbourne on loan. Did he go anywhere? He's gone to Longford, on loan. He was meant to be going to Shelbourne or Longford. He's gone to Longford. And that is it in terms of players out. In terms of players in, we missed out on Stefan Kamara because we've got no transfer budget. If we had a £6.5 million offer accepted, deal was all sorted. But we may go back in for him if the money becomes available from the sales of Conciao and any money that we might get in from Donnelly and Russell on their loan deals. As we are days away from the start of the season, we have sold Julian John Guerrero to Atalanta for £16.25 million, and we've brought in
Nikita Rog from Saint Etienne for £35 million. It is less than that up front. Obviously, that figure just shows the amount that we will pay, I think with the instalments included. But even with that, we've only spent a net spend of £25 million. So we've done some really good business in this window. His transfers out: Conciao 30 million, Ivan James 30 million, Mateus Tafina 30 million, John Guerrero 16.25 million, Eddie Saicedo 15 million. And in terms of what we've brought in, Tulio, Jamie Brown, Nikita Rog are the big money signs. Andrea Cambiasso as a backup fullback. It's a lot of money to pay for a backup fullback, I am aware of that. But at the time, well, even now, we're still struggling to bring in fullbacks. There's a little bit more going on. We are trying to get Gaston Soroku over the line for £3 million, rising to £6 million from River. He's a 21-year-old. Looks decent apart from the fact that he cannot jump to save his life. Physicals are pretty good. Maybe he's got a little bit of room. Maybe he can fill out that 4 stars, hopefully. Some of his numbers look okay from the scouting that we've done. We've gone in very early on him, but I think £3 million up front, I think is a decent deal, because I think we just with Premier League experience, that figure is probably going to double or treble. It's probably going to be worth double figures. So I think it is a good bit of business. We're going to see where he fits in this season, whether he's going to go back out on loan, whether we're going to keep him at the club. I'm not 100% sure. A lot will depend on registration rules as the season begins and what we've got left over in terms of the squad size. But he should be coming through the door hopefully before the season starts in the Cardiff game, and we'll bring it to you as soon as it becomes official. So we are on the eve of the start of the season. We start off with an away game against Cardiff, home game against Crystal Palace. I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring these 4 games in August in the next episode. Cardiff, Palace, Bristol City as just a highlight sort of package, just a quick nip through of that game, and Brighton at home. It's really 4 winnable games to go into the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup and to get a really good start in the league. As you see here, we've had a very good pre-season, that 7-0 victory over Galatasaray, summing everything up. We have managed to seal the signing of Gaston Soroku as well, in on £35,000 a week, the 21-year-old Argentinian. We've got to sort out the registration for all of these as well. We'll get all that sorted in the coming days. There may still be a few outgoings before the season ends, but tomorrow the season starts and we're going to end the episode right here. If you've enjoyed today's episode, if you've enjoyed the transfer window, if you've enjoyed seeing us get this business done and you like the business that we've got done, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. And I'll see you tomorrow for the opening game of our first full season here at Villa Park.